Hello, YouTube kids. It's me, Sandra Jewell, from Sandra Jewell Ministries, to letting you know once again, yep, I have a word for you. A word to get you through those hard times. A word to get you through those difficult times. And the word that I have for you today is it's good to say thank you. It's good to stop, take the time, and say thank you. When you do something for someone, it's good when they show their appreciation. It's not something that you expect, but it feels like you haven't wasted your time. When children get gifts from their parents or just get a piece of clothing that they didn't expect from their parents or something that they needed, the school supplies that they needed, it's not that as parents we expect it, but it's good to hear somebody say thank you. I was coming from a conference once, and when I got to the church, I was tired. I had been strained. I was preaching all week. And I opened up an envelope that was in the middle of my desk. And the cover of the card that was in the envelope said, thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you was written all over the card. And before I could open it up and see who it was from or why I was given a thank you, my spirit was rejuvenated that somebody took the time to say thank you. There were 10 lepers in the scriptures. Now, leprosy in the scriptures was supposedly incurable. It told us over in the book of Leviticus that if you think you have leprosy, there are procedures you could go by to make sure it is leprosy or just a sore. But it took 7 days to evaluate whether it was leprosy or whether it was just a boil or some sore. Over in Leviticus, which is in the Old Testament, Leviticus, the third chapter, it gives you all of the steps you need to ensure that it was not an incurable disease. But before 7 days was up, you would not know whether it was leprosy or not. But 10 lepers heard that Jesus, the Christ, was passing by, heard that Jesus was in town. You know how we do. We hear that some father this and prophet that and evangelist this was in town and doing healing, and all you got to do is bring a handkerchief, or all you got to do is wear white. Well, they were flocking around when they heard that Jesus was in town. And they cried out to Jesus, please cure us. The thing about leprosy, we know that there are people who, just to give you a frame of reference, who are 6 feet tall. I'm 5 feet 2. Sometimes I say I'm 5 feet 4, but I'm really 5 feet 2. And my husband is over 6 feet, and some people, are 6 feet tall. So when a person had been diagnosed with leprosy in those days, they were known as being unclean. And they had to call out 6 feet away, unclean. 6 feet away. They could not get people close to them. 6 feet away. Those people were not allowed to breathe the air of people who were clean. They had to cry out, unclean, unclean. And they would go in another direction, or the people that they saw coming 6 feet away would go in another direction. So when Jesus saw them, Jesus didn't require them to say unclean. They came to Jesus as they were. They had an intimate time with Jesus. They were in the crowd and they said, Jesus, please heal us. If you will, make us clean. If you will, make us whole. Jesus said, go on your way and be clean. And they turned, says the scriptures, and they left. And as they were going on their way, one probably looked at the other one and said, look, your face looks like that of a newborn babe. Another one looked at the other one and said, yours does too. They looked down at their hand. That's what that song said. I looked at my hand. My hand was new. I looked at my feet. My feet were new. And then ever since that day, I've been running for Christ. And when they saw those 10 lepers who had been unclean for years, who had not been with their families, who had not been with their loved one, who had to not even breathe the same air as their loved one or anyone who did not have leprosy, they looked at themselves and they started running to go to the temple so that the priest could announce that they were now clean. But one of the 10, 1/10 of them turned and went back to Jesus, went back to the one who made him whole, looked back to the one who made him clean, went back to the one who was not offended, looked back to the one that he didn't have to say he was unclean, went back to Jesus and said, thank you. He said, thank you. Thank you for making me whole. Thank you for cleaning me. Thank you so that I can once again be with my family, so that I can once again worship in the household of faith, so that I can once again be considered as alive and no longer dead. And Jesus said, but weren't there 10 of you? But only one came back to say thank you. It's good to say thank you. We appreciate thank you. Jesus appreciated thank you. Today, my word for you is just to say thank you. This is Pastor Jewell from Sandra Jewell Ministries, Inc., letting you know your word that I have for you to say is say thank you. Say thank you. If you want to contact me, write me at Sandra Jewell Ministries, Inc. at gmail.com. Be glad to hear from you. Your word for this day is good to say thank you. Take a little time. Thank you. Thank you. Merci. Thank you. Daka. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you. No matter what language you have to say it in, say thank you.